Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2024. Can you believe it? I know I can't. I am kind of in shock that 2023 happened so quickly. And all of these goals and all of these things that I wanted to do last year that I didn't quite get to are percolating in my mind. They're on my mind. They're kind of like, I don't know, just wanting my attention, wanting me to kind of sit down and really get down to business and get serious with what it is that I want to accomplish in my life. So I decided to come on and create a YouTube video and share some tips and some question prompts that I thought might be useful to you if you're also thinking about, well, what is it that I want to accomplish this year? What are the things that I would love to focus on and really put pen to paper around and get clarity on for the year ahead? And I want to start quickly and I want to start now. Oftentimes, right, January comes around and everybody has their New Year's resolutions and things that you want to create. And that's great. And then we end up not doing them for the most part, but it always helps, right, to have an accountability partner. So I'd love to be that for you. To write things down, right? When you actually document and you keep them somewhere visible that you can visit often, you are more likely to complete your goals, to actually check those items off your list. So what I would love to do is have you use this time right now as you are watching this video to help you create some reflections on the past and what's happened over the course of this past year. It's always good to slow down and to reflect, but also to actually think about what it is that you want to create for the future. So what I would love for you to do is, if you have some time, grab a notebook and pen. And I would highly suggest that if you enjoy the act of writing more, when you have your favorite pen with you, like a gel pen or lots of different colors, that you go ahead and do this. If you don't know her, I highly suggest that you follow Marie Forleo. She is an entrepreneur. She's a coach. I think she calls herself a multi-passionate entrepreneur or something along those lines. But she's always got all these different ideas and videos about things that you can create if you have a business. She's somebody that I love to follow. And one of the tips that she gave was around writing with your favorite, utility, right? Your favorite pen, something that brings you joy. So I would highly suggest that you do that. Grab a notebook, right? That is a special notebook that is just for the goals that you have, that you want to create for yourself, sketches, journal, whatever it is, right, that you want to create, but something that you can write with. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some question prompts, and I want you to pause the video and go ahead and sit down, maybe light a candle. That might be nice, just kind of set the vibe, set the mood, play your favorite music in the background, maybe something instrumental if you'd like, or if you want complete silence, that's good too. Sometimes that helps me, is just to not have any distractions, but setting some sort of intentional vibe, right, in the space that you want to create your goals. So for me, I'm kind of in my kitchen space. I have a new table, which I'll show you maybe at some point in the future. And I lit some incense and have some water with me, and I just wanted to set the mood for myself. So go ahead and take some time to do that. And the first thing that we're gonna do, this is a lo-fi video, you guys. This is not advanced. I don't have the fancy stuff in here. This is just me kind of giving you the prompts. So when you're ready and when you want to pause, go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna build anything into this. So the first thing you want to write is reflecting on the past year. What is it that you are most proud of? What is it that you're most proud of? So pause the video, take some time to write that out. And then when you're back, go ahead and unpause. What is it that you have overcome over the past year, right? Think about 2023. What are the things that you obstacles that came your way. Maybe there were some intentions that you had created and that you didn't quite get to. Well, what got in the way? What was it that was an obstacle that you had to overcome? If you didn't overcome the obstacle, that's okay. If it was something that just got in your way, write that down. Just reflect on what were some of the things that came up for you this year that made it really difficult for you to complete those goals. All right, go ahead and write that. And then when you're done, you can unpause me. All right, next prompt is, what are the results of what you have created over the course of this past year? So I want you to think about, you spent a whole year of life this past year doing something, right? Whether that was focused on work, whether that was focused on family, on spending time with friends, on small things. Do you knit? Are you, a writer? Whatever it is, think about, what did you spend your time on over the course of this past year, and what were the results of your intentionality, of your creations? What were the things that you brought to life this past year? And just take a moment to write that out. And again, come back when you're ready to move on. All right. The next thing that I want you to do is take a few minutes to review everything that you've laid out and highlight and circle what were the most important of that list, right? So you have a section on what you're most proud of, obstacles or things you've overcome, and results of your work that you've created this year. Circle of that content that you've written. What are the most important things that you really want to call out, that you want to circle? Maybe pick, 2 or 3 that really stand out to you, and write a little bit about why. Why was that so important? Okay, so the next section the next section of this part is going to be around, what did you learn? Okay, so again, looking over the course of this past year, take some time to write out, what did you learn? What were some of the lessons that maybe they were hard lessons, maybe they were difficult, maybe they were really enlightening and eye-opening for you this year, but what were some of those lessons that you learned? And then, after that, write out what mistakes you made, right? What were some of the things that you wish you had not done, or the decisions that you had not made? The things that you wish you could have done differently. What were some of those mistakes? And which of those mistakes do you want to celebrate, right? So maybe list out, some of those mistakes that you are kicking yourself over, and, which of those do you actually want to celebrate because they resulted in an important lesson that you needed to learn, right? What's 1 or 2 things that you want to acknowledge were important for you to experience this year? And then, what were the biggest game changers and why for you, right? Maybe just kind of thinking through, what were those things that really created an impact, whether positive or negative, on your life over the course of this year? And why were those the biggest game changers? What is it about them that mattered? So this is a lot of writing, right? This is a lot of reflection, but this will be good for you to really think through and reflect on this past year. And then this next section is going to be more on what it is that you need to let go of, right? What is it that you need to release? And this could run the gamut of, I need to release expectations, to-do lists, things that I said I was going to get to that I'm just not going to do. I know I'm not going to do them, so I need to let that go. Again, projects that you might have, resentments maybe that you're carrying with you that you do not want to carry into 2024. Old stories. What are some old stories that you want to release and let go of? And once you have that exhaustive list of all the things that you want to let go of, this is an old story that I have about myself, a limiting belief that I'm carrying around with me every single day, that I am not good enough in some way, or whatever it is for you, right? Circle the ones that are really the most important of that list. Maybe it's, the top 3 of those things that you want to let go of. What are the most important ones that you think will create the most positive impact in your life in the days ahead, in the weeks and months ahead, if you were to let those things go? All right, take some time to do that. And then this last section is going to be about what's next, right? So this is when you are really thinking about what are the goals around the different categories of my life that I want to think about. Maybe your categories could be health, finance, relationships, your career. If you have a business, right? What are the goals around the business that you're creating? And just write out, what are some of those things? What are some of the items that you want to create in terms of intentions that you have for yourself for this next year ahead? And then again, circle, once you have that list, the top 3 most important goals that you want to highlight, right? What are those top 3 that are really going to matter? And who do you need to be in order to achieve those, right? That's a lot that I gave you. So it's, what you're proud of, right? A reflection on what you overcame. It's what did you learn? What are some of those mistakes you made? It's what do you want to let go of, right? And then what are the goals that you are aiming for, right? So this is gonna maybe take some time for you to sit down and actually process, and maybe this will take the course of an hour or more, but at the very least, taking some time to reflect and make this time well spent with yourself, I think will be really beneficial to you. And the very last thing that you can do as a suggestion is to write a letter to yourself from the future, right? So this is your 2025 self writing a letter to you saying, "Dear Mari," right? If it were me writing to myself, I want you to remember that you really wanted this because you want to serve people, right? Because you've been wanting this for years, whatever it is, right? Like, what's going to make you really wake up and remember, oh, this is why I'm trying to achieve this goal, right? What does your future self want you to honor? And what's going to help you to stay motivated and connected to these goals that you're creating for yourself? So that's my suggestion to you. This is not a high-tech video. I apologize. I know it might seem a little messy and also maybe a little overwhelming even. Pick a section, pick a question. You don't have to do all of them. This was a lot that I gave you, but maybe there were 1 or 2 in there that really piqued your interest, that were like, oh, you know what? I really need to reflect on that. I haven't really thought about it, and I think that's going to be helpful to me. And then what I would love it if to build in more accountability is if in the comment section, you can add what your top 3 goals are. I want to hear them. I want to know, what is it? What are the top 3 things that you really want to focus on for this year? Or maybe, again, if you do a different section, maybe if it's the letting go, right? I'd love to hear, what is it that you're letting go of for 2024, right? What is it that you no longer want to carry around with you? Maybe you want to share that with me in the comment section, but that might help build some accountability, is to have it be public, right? You're documenting for everyone to see, particularly myself, that, you're committing to something. There's something that you are claiming for yourself, whether that's to let something go or to focus on something for the future. So I hope this is helpful to you as you think through more about what you want this year. There's a ton of heaviness in the world. There's a lot of negativity, and I can spend some time focusing this video on that, but I don't want to do that. I want to focus on what's going to help move you forward, what's going to help bring you joy and light. So let me know how this goes. And if you need one-on-one support, I'm always open to having a chat, discovery call with you if you're looking for a coach. But really, I just wanted this to be in service for the start of the new year, on getting your year kicked off on the right foot. So, all right, Happy New Year, everybody. Enjoy, and see you in the next one. Take care.